Life is tough. People are going to die. People are going to cheat on you. People are going to go behind your back. Life is tough. And it's about being able to prepare yourself for that. The best way I prepare for everything is the fact that I am always looking to fail. I'm not searching to fail, but I understand that when I fail, it's the biggest weapon we've got. We're born into this world as creative, amazing human beings. We want to dream, we want to create, we want to experience. And very quickly we're sent to a programming center, which they call a school. And you're basically being programmed for the system, to be a part of the system. The schooling system's not there to teach you to be successful. The system is not, or the schooling program is not there to make sure you don't have any mental health issues and really start to understand your purpose of life. The system is there to make you fit as a cog in a massive machine and just be someone that fits into the system as a factory worker. The whole schooling system was devised by the Rothschilds, and it was based on a factory worker. And that system is so old and is being questioned by a lot of people now. People are starting to understand that there is more to life than what we're led to believe. There is more to us, the infinite potential that we've got. People are starting to see that we have massive potential, and we're not, that is being kept from us. It's been kept from us for a long, long time. And when you look at a society, they can't control a society that's full of free-thinking people that want to create wealth and success and happiness. It just won't work for them. And a lot of people are starting to become aware of that.
The old adage of, but not everybody can be successful, not everybody can have their dreams or live out their purpose. What do you think of that?
The answer to that is everyone can do exactly what they want to do. But what everyone wants to do is not what every person, no one's the same. Everyone wants different things in life. Some people don't want the challenges, as many challenges as others. I always say that, regardless, I'm big on goal setting, but regardless on, your goal could be as simple as you want to live a long and happy life. That is your goal. That could be your mountain. So really different people want different challenges. For me, I want, I feel there's a massive need to embrace challenge. The thing is, we're being led to believe that there's this utopia that we're all aiming to achieve. And that is to be sat with a margarita on a beach at the end of your working career. And that to me is living hell. That is not a dream, that's a postcard. And we've got to understand that we thrive from challenge. We thrive from adversity. And these are the things that make us feel alive. We're put on this planet to have a human experience. And the more we can understand that the challenges are there to make us grow and to make us learn. And we shouldn't be heading to this utopia where there is no effort, no challenge, no nothing. And really, when you look at society, you don't have to do anything. I can order something now. I ordered a book last night on Amazon. It was here this morning. You look back in the day when you used to want to go and get a pair of shoes. It was a challenge. Nowadays, you don't have to do anything. It's just there on your doorstep. You don't have to exert any kind of stress on yourself to get anything. And it's programming us in a very negative way. People are just becoming weak. And a big problem for humanity in general is we don't think. People think just simple thought constitutes thinking. That's not thinking. That's just a process. So really thinking is where you start to become aware of yourself. You start to analyze your thoughts. You start to question the narrative that's been given to you. And luckily, there's a lot of people starting to recognize this now. The world is changing, but not everyone will change. Not in my lifetime anyway.
In my opinion, the way I see I think it'll be broken down into this is, in life, there's things that happen to you, out of our control that happens to you, and you are tested and you have to, like the society we live in today, there's some people who might escape through life where that doesn't happen, or, eventually we all face some kind of adversity, but there is this preparation for that so many of us do not do. And when it comes, it breaks us. When some adversity comes, it breaks us. The idea of creating resilience in your life by testing yourself, how important is it? And how do you specifically create that resilience?
Well, resilience, it's imperative that everyone embraces the skills to build that resilience. You've got to understand that life is not a golden paved path to your dreams. Life is tough. People are going to die. People are going to cheat on you. People are going to go behind your back. Life is tough. And it's about being able to prepare yourself for that. The best way I prepare for everything is the fact that I am always looking to fail. I'm not searching to fail, but I understand that when I fail, it's the biggest weapon we've got. You know, some people don't want to fail in life. They're programmed into believing that failure is weakness, and it's not. You know, my goals are always big enough that I'm going to keep on failing for the rest of my life. And if you're not failing, then your goals aren't big enough. You're not being challenged. But that is exactly why, or how you build resilience, through failure. 3 simple questions: what did I do well? What didn't I do well? And how am I going to do it differently if I do it again? But people avoid that, and that's the language of the ego. You know, the ego does not want to look like a failure. It's always trying to please the outside world. It's trying to please the audience, and this is where we're stuck. You've only got to look at social media, look at egogram, and it's all about pleasing the audience. No one on there is telling the story. No, everyone on there is faking perfection. And you imagine for kids being brought up into this world, that is absolute toxic. You know, if kids if kids learn to understand that we learn from failure, then we'd embrace that a lot more, and it would prepare us for society. But you look at the schooling system. It's always, you tell me how much of the schooling system is about teamwork, is about community. Nothing in there is about community or teamwork. It's about being first, always being first, coming first in your exams, coming first on the sports field. It's a very singular, focused program. And really, you know, we are not being given the right tools from an early age. You know, and what that ends up with is a load of adult people that never leave the schooling system. You know, people never leave school. They think they've left school, but they're always answering to a hierarchy. You know, whether that's in their jobs or whatever, they're always dealing with a hierarchy. And that's where I feel the program works, the schooling system works, because it's more about teaching you to adhere to authority as opposed to teaching you to be successful.
As many of you know, we are independent creators and filmmakers, but there is a massive attack on us right now. Traditional media over the last few years has started to slowly die. They are no longer the independent voice that you first thought they were. That's why we've created Mulligan Brothers Patreon. We've built something special for our most dedicated supporters, and I want to break it down for you real quick. The supporter tier gets you ad-free early access to both video and audio versions of Mulligan Brothers interviews 24 hours before it goes public. The executive tier gets you everything that a supporter tier gets, plus more. Exclusive interviews and behind the scenes content, walk and talks, daily routines, unreleased interviews, the stuff that you don't see anywhere else. And finally, the executive producer tier. Everything from the supporter tier and the executive tier, plus exclusive perks. Access to our treatment packages. Be the first to see which guests are coming up and get insight into the topics we'll be discussing before anyone else. And you'll even get an executive producer credit on every single documentary that we make. So if you've ever wanted to support the Mulligan Brothers mission of inspiring change so we can go around the world and get these stories that nobody else will, this is exactly how you do it. Go to patreon.com/Mulligan Brothers or click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. Join the community and help us inspire change.